Okay, today we're just going to do a little unboxing of this Hubsan H502c. It's my new drone. I'm going to do a few more videos about this, but today is just the unboxing of it. We'll do a few more flight videos of it later on, and I've got some mods planned for it as well. But today is just a quick look at what's inside the box and basically what it does. So that's it. It's the little cousin of the H502e and the H502s. Okay, this is the back of the box. It's just showing you the transmitter that you get with it. Showing you how to put the props on, a bit of information there. It's just telling you there's two different props, anti-clockwise and clockwise props. It's also telling you what radio control system it uses, 2.4 gigahertz. We've got HD camera on board. It takes photo and 720p video. It's got GPS, so it's got to be a stable quadcopter. It's important you set that up. Instructions are in the box how to do that. It's got return to home, which is based on the GPS setup. So wherever it launches from, that's where it's going to return to, in theory. So I'm going to be testing that out, make sure that all works. So if you lose sight of your drone, you don't know where it is, you've lost orientation, press return to home and it'll come back. Or if you go out of range of your transmitter, the wind blows it away or whatever, it should automatically come back. So we'll do some tests on that. We've got altitude hold on this, which is a really good feature if you're new to drones. Just makes your drone very stable in the air. No input on the sticks, and it's just going to stay where you put it basically. So we'll do some tests on that. And the flights I've done so far, they've all been really good. It's all been very stable in the air. There's a slight bit of where it's trying to correct itself, and it all depends on the wind basically, whereabouts you are, but it's generally pretty good. We've got 10 minutes flight time there, according to the box. I've not got that yet, but I've got pretty close. I've got about 8.5 minutes on my last flight. It's a pretty cold day, it's quite windy, so the conditions weren't ideal. But it's only a 450 milliamp hour battery on this, and the cousin to this drone, the H502e and S, they both share a 620 milliamp hour battery. So 8.5 minutes on a 450 is pretty good, I think. But there's definitely room for improvement, and I'm going to show you basically over the next few videos the kind of flight time you'll get out of it and how you can improve that. But the next part of the video, we're just going to have a look inside the box and have a look. So basically inside the box, we've got your quadcopter, we've got your spare parts box, we've got some spare prop screws and screws to put your prop guards on. You get a little screwdriver, you get your transmitter, that's your battery. It's a proprietary battery, that's your little connection there. It's 450 milliamp hour battery, and it just clips in the back of the quadcopter. That's a little clip there at the back. You get a charger for that, USB charger, which has a little charge indicator on it, flashing LED. You also get your prop guards, 4 prop guards, mainly used for indoor flying, so you just bounce off walls if you hit a wall or something. I've not put them on yet. You also get some spare propellers. You get 4 propellers. I strongly recommend you get some more. I've used 2 already, so I've actually ordered some more. These are Hubsan propellers. You can get them in various colours. I think they do white ones as well. So these are off another similar quadcopter. So what you can do, you can put maybe 2 different colours on the front, so you can easily see when it's up in the air which way it's facing. That's probably what I'm going to do. But that's the quadcopter so far. That's what you get in the box. So let's have a quick look. Okay, so in the box you've got various, you've got your instructions, which I recommend you read that front to back before you even charge a battery up. So get familiar with the controls, get familiar with everything about your quadcopter. It's some really important information about setting up the GPS, which is really important on these. It's important you set the GPS. Also, the compass will need calibrating every time you fly. So every time you take the battery out and put a new one in, every time you fly, basically, you've got to calibrate the compass. And there's a bit of procedure in there. It tells you how to do it. It's dead simple. Doesn't take very long. And then when you've done that, you sit and wait for your satellites to lock on to your drone, which it tells you on your transmitter. So all that information's in there. Read that thoroughly. That's your disclaimer warnings. Give you some tips and some safety information about your battery, about where to safely fly your drone, etc. There's also a copy of the drone code in there. Read that as well. Tells you about all the UK current legislation on drones. Let's keep this hobby safe, guys. Always follow that code. It's just common sense, basically, where to fly your drone, where not to fly it, how high you can fly it, etc, etc. Just common sense safety, and it's important when you're flying these things just to consider other people. Don't just be thinking about yourself. So fly safe, guys. That's about it, really. So apart from that, we've got the usual similar safety thing on the transmitter when you first get it. Read that, tells you about the GPS, etc, etc. Calibrating your compass. It's all there. Okay, that's your transmitter. Basically, your left stick is your throttle. So to launch, you just push it forward, and that controls your altitude. So up would be climb higher, increase your altitude, and back down would be decrease your altitude. And you can also spin it on its axis by sort of flicking it over to the left, and it'll spin round to the left, over to the right, and it'll spin round to the right. And you've got a little trim button below that to adjust that if you need to. In the centre there, you've got your on off for your transmitter. Then on your right stick, that controls your pitch forward, pitch back, pitch to the left, pitch to the right. And also if you press that in, it double bleeps and you're in expert mode. So when you're in that mode, your motors are a little bit quicker, a little bit more sensitive. So obviously on a windy day, you want that bit of extra power. And when you get used to the quadcopter flying it, just press that in and you're in expert mode. But by default, it's in standard mode, where you've just got about a bit less power basically. But it's easier to control and get used to it. So I suggest when you first start flying these, get used to the drone first in that mode. Below that, you've got your trims to adjust that. You've got quite a good bit of telemetry information on this. On start up, it tells you the centre part there is how many satellites you've got. I've got 0 satellites. I'm inside, so it's not going to find any. The icons above that, you've got your video and your photo icon. So when it's recording video, by holding that shoulder button in there, a long hold will give you your video, start your video off, and then a long hold again will stop the video. A short press will take a picture, and the icons will flash depending on what you're doing, videoing or taking a photo. You've got your other telemetry information is the heading, which way the quadcopter's pointing, which is quite useful. So you can see at a distance, just take note of where it's going out, and then it's like 360 degrees basically around you, and you can work out. So if it's going out at 0, heading 0, you want to be coming back at sort of 180 to be coming back towards you. Then you've got other information. It'll cycle through height in meters, so how far above the ground you are, and also how far out you are, which is quite useful. These things have quite a good range, 200 or 300 meters, no problem out of the box. Don't forget, 400 feet is your height limit in the UK, but you can certainly go out 200 meters easily with these. Just about see your drone. It's important to keep an eye on where it is in the sky, so you know which way you're going and what's happening to your drone, whereabouts it is. But these things are really good range, and it's only a little antenna inside the controller, but I've seen these modified where people bring them outside, give you a little bit more range. I've also seen a better mod where they actually put a 2.4 gigahertz antenna off a Wi-Fi router, and you can pick them up quite cheap. I'll give you a lot more range, but don't forget you're not going to see your drone, so that's one thing to consider. It's right if you've got FPV, I suppose, see where you're going, but don't forget you need to be line of sight really. So, what other information on there is when you're in expert mode, it'll tell you at the bottom you're in expert mode. It'll also, you get a double beep on when you press that in, and then a single beep when you press it again to go back in standard mode. It'll tell you TX battery power, top left. You get 5 or 6 bars telling you how much power's in these batteries. I always charge mine up every flight, make sure they're fresh batteries. The battery indicator on the right, which won't be lit at the minute because my quad's not on, that's the battery level in the quadcopter itself. Now don't forget, it's not going to be deadly accurate, just to give you an indication really, roughly where you are. That's about it really. So telemetry wise, there's some quite useful information there. It's nice, comfortable to hold. It's just like a games controller. The sticks feel good. So that's your return to home button. That works fine. I've tested that out a few times now. So that information just comes from where you launch your drone from. So don't forget, it's going to come back to where you launch it from. As long as you had 6 satellites when you launch, so it's important before you launch you make sure you get those 6 satellites. It tells you all about that in the instructions, but I can't tell you enough how important that is. Don't launch without those 6 satellites, because goodness knows where it's going to go if you press return to home. It could actually go anywhere. And on the back, that's your battery compartment. It takes 4 AAAs. I've just put rechargeables in there and just charge them up every flight. It only takes a few minutes to charge them up, and you know your batteries are good for that flight. You probably get 2 or 3 flights out of it, to be honest, but you can get ones from the pound shop, cheap enough, rechargeables, or you can just get the standard alkalines, whatever you want to do, cheap enough. That's about it really. Controller. That's about it. The little symbol, the round symbol on the left with a little satellite in it, that's sort of, it flashes when you're in return to home mode. That's just a satellite symbol. The number next to it, obviously 0, is how many satellites I've got. Like I say, when you first turn your quad on and you're outside, it'll soon pick up some satellites. You get 2 or 3 to start with, and then you just wait till you get 6 basically. That's about it.